All right, picture this for a second. It's like 2 a.m. The world's dead quiet, but you're wide awake, lying in bed, staring at that dim glow from your alarm clock. And your brain? It just won't shut off. You're thinking, man, what if the fridge breaks tomorrow? What if my phone just dies out of nowhere? What if my boss calls me in and says, yeah, we're letting you go? Or worse, what if my pet suddenly needs some ridiculously expensive emergency surgery? And, uh, that sinking, anxious pit in your stomach? Yeah, almost everyone knows exactly what that feels like. But here's the wild part. There's literally one number, just one, that almost wipes out those 2 a.m. panic spirals. And no, it's not $1 million. It's not even six figures. The first number that actually changes everything is just $10,000. And I already know what some of you are saying, like, come on, Ryan, really? 10 grand. That's supposed to be life-changing. But hang on, because once you actually get why this number matters, it flips the way you look at money forever. And trust me, I'm not just pulling this out of thin air. I live in this stuff. I study how people behave with money, the psychology behind financial stress, why some people stay calm and confident while others are always scrambling. And honestly, that $10,000 milestone, it's not about what you can buy. It's about who you become once you've got it. Think about it. When you've got nothing saved, life feels like you're constantly walking on a tightrope. You're at the grocery store, literally doing math over a box of cereal. Do you grab the brand you actually like or the one that tastes like cardboard? Your friends text you to go out to dinner, and you pause because, that $25 meal could wreck your budget for the week. That's paycheck to paycheck living. Every tiny choice feels huge. Every unexpected bill feels like a full-on disaster. You're always reacting, never planning. But then, and here's the shift, the second you've got $10,000 put away, the game changes. You're not suddenly buying fancy cars or flexing on Instagram. The change happens in your head. When you're broke, every decision feels terrifying. Should I quit this job? Should I move cities? Should I even take a weekend trip? All of it feels risky. But with a cushion, those same choices feel manageable. Not easy, but, possible. Finally, you've got breathing room. You can take calculated risks, ask for that raise, invest in a class, maybe try out a little side hustle. And this isn't just me hyping it up. Science literally backs this up. When you've got financial security, your cortisol, yeah, that's your stress hormone, drops. Your body actually changes. Remember that dreaded check engine light? When you're broke, it feels like a countdown to doom. But with $10,000 in the bank, it's just annoying. Like, ugh, fine, I'll deal with it. That difference, full-blown panic versus mild irritation, spreads into every corner of your life. You sleep better. You make calmer choices. You're not snapping at people around you because you're secretly stressed about money. And here's the funny twist. Most people who save $10,000 don't even use it for emergencies. Nope, they use it for opportunities. They move to better cities, sign up for courses, start small businesses. That emergency fund basically becomes a launch pad. And once you have it, man, your confidence just shoots through the roof. You start negotiating differently. You stop sounding desperate. You're willing to walk away from garbage deals. And trust me, people notice that shift in energy immediately. Now, yeah, I get it. Some of you are like, Ryan, 10 grand feels impossible. I can't even save $100. And listen, I hear you. That's exactly why this milestone is so powerful. The hardest part isn't stacking the cash. It's becoming the type of person who stacks it. Most people treat saving like a crash diet. Slash everything, save a little, burn out, and quit. But the people who hit $10,000, they don't just save money, they become savers. And once that clicks, it's wild. You start spotting leaks in your budget. You see new income streams. You shift your thinking from instant gratification to long-term security. And look, it does get easier. The first $1,000 feels brutal. The second one, easier. By the time you've stacked 5 or 6 grand, it almost feels automatic. That's not just momentum, that's identity. A whole new version of you. And the math backs it up. Most emergencies in life, car repairs, medical bills, sudden flights, cost less than $10,000. That's why this number works. You're protected from the chaos that keeps people stuck in survival mode. Here's the kicker though. Someone with $10,000 saved is usually closer to real freedom than someone making double their salary but saving nothing. Because wealth? It's not about what you make. It's about what you keep. You've seen six-figure earners broke by payday. Meanwhile, someone on $40,000 quietly builds a cushion. The difference isn't income, it's mindset. Let me spell this out. Car repairs, usually between $500 and $3,000. Medical bills, urgent care or small procedures, way under $10,000. Lose your job? That's 3 to 6 months of breathing space. That's power. That's leverage. And once you've got that, opportunities start showing up everywhere. A $2,000 certification that bumps your salary? Now possible. An investment you used to ignore? At least something you can consider. I'm not saying go dump your cushion into crypto or your buddy's sketchy startup, but, just having the option feels unreal compared to being broke with zero choices. And here's the part nobody talks about. It affects everything else. Your health, your relationships, your career. Couples fight less when they have savings. People sleep better. They negotiate harder at job interviews. Because, let's be real, how different do you feel walking into an interview when you're desperate versus when you know you've got a cushion? That difference in energy can literally change your life. Now, sure, $10,000 might still sound like climbing Everest if you're starting from zero. But you don't have to get there overnight. In fact, if you go too extreme, you'll burn out. The people who actually win this game, they start small. $20 here, 50 there. Consistency matters way more than perfection. And here's a stat that'll blow your mind. The average American spends over $3,000 a year on coffee, takeout, and convenience stuff. That's before subscriptions, car payments, all the extras. Redirect just a third of that, and you'd hit $10,000 in under 3 years. You don't have to quit coffee forever or live like a monk. You just need to be intentional. But again, the real magic isn't the number itself. It's who you become. Once you've got $10,000, the next 10 comes faster. Then 50, then 100. It's not luck. It's identity. And, man, here's another perk nobody really mentions: decision fatigue. When you're broke, every purchase is a stressful math problem. Generic or brand. Pack lunch or overspend. Regular gas or premium. Every little choice drains your energy. But when you've got savings, those decisions just vanish. You buy what you actually want. You choose based on preference, not panic. I know someone who said their first grocery run after hitting $10,000 almost made them cry. Not because they went crazy, but because for the first time, they shopped for taste, not price. That's freedom. Now, let's be honest. 10 grand won't make you rich. It won't let you retire early. But what it does give you is space. And that space? That's the foundation of everything else. You start spotting opportunities. You stack wins. You live life with way less fear. Because here's the truth. When you're broke, every dollar feels fragile. Lose one and it's a disaster. But when you've got $10,000, money feels solid, resilient. And that makes you way more willing to invest in yourself. The broke version of you skips a $50 networking event because it feels too expensive. The saver version of you goes, makes a connection, and lands a job paying $5,000 more. That's the multiplier effect. So yeah, $10,000 isn't just a number in your account. It's the turning point. The first real taste of security. Better sleep, calmer relationships, smarter decisions, unshakable confidence. And if your bank account right now looks more like a bad phone number than a balance, don't panic. Just start small. Stay consistent. Because the version of you who builds that first $10,000, that person is worth way more than the money itself.